Saturday, and you know what that means. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons is on the table. We are going back to the Wolflands to see if we can explore a little bit more of the hexes around Castle Weasel. Today is June 21st, to be precise. In our last video, we explored this hex. We fought some lions down here. This is, I think I said, this is supposed to be a granite tor. It's only 600 yards across, so it only rises a couple hundred feet above the surrounding terrain. But man, what a great point for a watchtower. Maybe a semaphore so we can do a little communication further out than we expected. Maybe when our guys do their little walk here, it's a mile and a half to get their sheep, their grazing animals over here. Maybe we put a little watchtower there if any raiders show up in the distance. Although we found this seems to be some sort of a crossroads for holy pilgrims. We've had pilgrims, we had dervishes who were pretty chill guys. They hung out with us last time, paid us a couple $100 to get a drink out of St. John's Well. That is a nice little refreshing area here inside Castle Weasel. I can show you what it looks like. See, there it is, St. John's Well, named after the dearly departed and oft remembered and prayed for mother of one of our viewers. If you have any ideas for what we should call this low mountain over here, go ahead and throw it down in the comments. I generally take the first appropriate suggestion. If y'all are like, it's Mounty McMountface, then forget it. It ain't gonna happen. We're gonna try to keep it at least interesting here. But we like to honor our forebears. That's what we do around here. We don't like to destroy monuments to this great nation of ours. And I say that regardless of which nation you're in. Mine just so happens to be 50 nations, these United States. So here we are, 80, on the 11th we had 80 dervishes. Let me find my pencil, my usual, where are you? Here you go. And we're going to set out on June, so I said it was the 21st, today. That's when this video goes live. And that means we rest today, we rest tomorrow. We've got 5 full days to explore. So on the 23rd, maybe we'll call that 23rd, we're going to send the boys out. We got a crew of 50. And just kind of looking at the economics here, here's the problem we're facing. We need to come up with 1,000 gold pieces a month. We have payroll made through August 1st, but that's not far away, man. We're only like 6 weeks away. We have a few thousand gold. So here we have 3,300 in the castle. We've got 5,200 in Harrington. So technically, our monthly support is 1,000 and it's 1,850 for the military. We got to come up with $3,000 a month, basically. And that's assuming zero growth. But we want to grow. We want to make this a little bigger, a little better, a little badder. Now, eventually, we'll have enough farmers move into the surrounding territory that we can start taxing them, right? So there's ruins here. It's not so ruined anymore. We're kind of moving the village over here, probably 100 yards away. Maybe we're hoping to build a little mill stream down here, although the mill should be on the bottom of that pond. Our boys have cleared out all of the giant frogs. This is called Watery Tart Pond. We probably should have called it Big Frog Pond, but whatever. We named it before we knew there were frogs there. It happens. So our village, I want to kind of move it over here between the pond and the castle, so we can use this stream as a little defensive area. There is a small bridge here. There's a nice big stone bridge up here by this swampland. Anyway, point is, on Monday morning, we're going to send the boys out. They're going to walk up here, go across the bridge, and we're going to explore. And this time, I think what I want to do is push the boundaries of civilization out. I'm going to walk through here. Now, this is Badlands, and this is Badlands, this little mini hex right here. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll be my week of journeying. And because we are now well within, let me show you what this hex looks like. So, if we look at the regional map, right, again, just to remind you, this is grasslands up here. We're down here in the Deadwood. There's a big lake that we have to walk around every time. We've talked about building a road, too expensive, maybe next year. So for now, and because we're getting away from the grasslands, we're going to be forced. So here's us in Castle Weasel. There is some forest up here and hills over here. So to keep things interesting, but that's still like a mile away. This is our hex right here around Castle Weasel. So I think, wait, Castle Weasel is plains. Oh, this is plains down here. And I rolled this. These are 4-mile hexes, by the way. See, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half and 6 hexes. It's 24-mile big red hex. So I wonder, I've been rolling on scrub this whole time, but I forgot. This sub-hex is plains. And so I wonder if I shouldn't have, maybe, good gravy. maybe what I'll do is I'll put a little reminder here. This is going to be scrub lands, and then I'm going to roll on plains, plains, and more plains. And that would explain why there was a castle here, because you've got the really hard, difficult ground, watchtower, and this is like the first of the real scrubland where it picks back up again. And I think we're justified, because remember, this is scrubland down here. We're pretty well surrounded by scrub. You could argue, well, hey, why don't we just call this hills up here? I'm not going to do that. Remember, it's all fractal. It's not like the hills come to here and then they just stop on the line. So you could, but instead I'm just going to go ahead and do plains, plains, and scrub. So today I'm going to roll for checks on these 5, and that will take us through, maybe we do the 6. I feel like maybe I should wait, and then maybe what we'll do if we do this one, then we can spend a week down here. But that gives me like another, 600 yards of safety where I can see who's coming. Our roster, let's remind, and I'm doing this both to refresh your memory and mine. If I don't go through this at the start of a video, I find that I tend to forget what's going on. So just to kind of stick it back in my short-term memory, just ratchet this information down. This is who we're marching out with. 10 light foot, and I could write foot here. By foot, we mean infantry, and heavy foot, I mean infantry. 20 archers, and then the 10 medium horse. Now, why are we bringing 50 guys out? I think this is old news. I think this has been talked to death. USR guys pointed this out, and of course, the BroSR has made lots of hay with this. This is actually the source book for a war game. People think it's for a miniature war game, or for a role-playing game. It is not for a role-playing game. It's for a war game. And you can tell that because if you look at the intelligent creatures here, something like the herb gerblins, if you read it, it says there's 20 to 200. Well, geez, how is a party of 4 to 6 adventurers supposed to deal with 20 to 200? Well, you got a couple of choices. You can fight them, which is not a good idea. You can talk to them, which may or may not be. Listen, they're evil, but they have hopes and dreams and wishes of their own. They may decide that, sticking you in a pot is a suboptimal choice. Maybe they put you to work. Maybe they hire you to do some work. That could happen, even if they're opposed. Did you know during that defensive war known as the Crusades, when the Christians finally decided to open a second front, well, a third front, actually, they'd been pushed back, the Christians, on 2 different fronts, north and south, and they decided to stick a dagger through the heart of that Muslim offensive. So they established the Crusader Kingdoms, and the Crusader Kingdoms allied with the bad guys. They had to. They were surrounded by them. And they took advantage of the regional infighting to ally with these Muslims against those Muslims. That was how they survived. And the same thing could happen in your campaign. I'm not a huge fan of hobgoblins, but I don't like the orcs a lot more. And the hobgoblins, maybe they don't like the orcs, so maybe the hobgoblins can use you to create a distraction. Right? There's all kinds of adventures that rear their delightful, adventurous heads when you embrace the idea of this as a faction game. So that's kind of what we've been doing. I have a faction with 150 soldiers, which means, now bear in mind, my 150 soldiers, if we just run the number, hobgoblins have an armor class of 5, 1+1 hit die. Most of my 150 guys have less than a hit die. They're D6 +1, so just barely under 1 hit die, which means if there's 100 hobgoblins versus my 150 guys, that's a fair fight. Hobgoblins punch just a little bit harder. So that's something to be aware of. Now, we've gone through this enough. I should be able to remember this. I am going to roll to find out if we have an encounter and like I said, we're going to start up top, and we're going to go counterclockwise. So the weather today is rather nice. No, so nothing happens here, but I should have had this bookmarked. We also need to turn, what kind of terrain is it? And like I said, I'm going to be rolling on the plains for both encounters and for the subterranean type. Not subterranean, the terrain subtype. Of course, I'm referring to Appendix B, Random Wilderness Terrain. So we roll a D20 on this now focused table. On the plains, on a 1 through 11, it's just more grasslands. If it's more than 11, then we have something interesting going on. So for example, I have a 6. This is going to be grass. And so this little corner is going to be grass. And people say, hey, can't you see across the 600 yards? To which my answer is, if we're in the American Great Plains and it's, or certain portions of the steppe, STEPPE, in Russia, you know, out there on your way from Moscow to Siberia, there are huge, vast places where you can see just miles and miles. You can see miles and miles. It's almost as flat as the ocean. This is not that. We know there's hills up here, so it's rolling grasslands. You can only see reasonably about 800 yards. If there's a mountain over here, why did we not know this mountain was here? We did. We just didn't care. The dice hadn't demonstrated it, so it's fine. So we didn't have an encounter, and we have more grasslands. So we roll again, and 14 is an interesting thing. 14 says you've got rough terrain. Okay, so I'm going to write down rough right here, rough. And I didn't have an encounter. So we roll for this one. This is day 3. It's hump day. Guess what day it is? It's more grasslands day. Oh, actually, I'm right here. So I'll put a couple of grasslands right there. And then it gets to be Thursday, and we have a great big fat hunk of nothing. Well, no, that's not true. We have more grasslands. We love it. I see why the farmers built something here in the first place. Now, 14 is more rough. So it's rough over here. And it says rough means badlands. So we have more we have more badlands here. And we have more badlands here. So these, now that I see we've got, remember we had badlands over here. These must be the scars of whatever cataclysm hit. And I think after we are done exploring all of these hexes, we're probably going to go ahead and launch a little expedition. Recall, if you will, that our subhex has a crater about 10 miles away. It's actually 8 miles from Castle Weasel. We can go excavate that and find out what's in there. It could be, well, we have to spend some money. It could be an old battle scene. It could be a dead comet. It could be an artifact. It could be a 5th level dungeon. Who's to say? Well, we're to say when we actually get around to that. That's going to take a month to do, so I love one-to-one time. The last thing, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and since we've had such an easy go of things, our boys are going to explore one more hex this week. They get a 3 and a 10, just a simple walk in the park this time around. And so this, I think maybe we'll make that one last little bit of woods, and then these 7 and everything in between are going to, or 6 here, right? So that's the end of it, and we're done. After we're done coloring in the pretty shapes on the map, God, don't you just love making maps like this? So evocative. While you're doing this, you let your mind churn and turn and think about what do these badlands mean? Why do we have so much grasslands? Do we really roll? Like, is that really it? And then you realize, wait, scrub, oh shoot. I should have rolled on the scrub table, which would have given me an entirely different result here. Now what am I going to do? If I'd caught it in time, I'd go back and I'd retcon it. I'd re-roll or I'd check the tape. But because I already filled that in, and it's going to look really nasty if I have to erase that, I'm just going to let it stand. I'll get scrub on the rest of these. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, some of you anyway. You're cheating. When you forget to do a rule like this, like last week with the Lions, because you let 10 guys attack the Lions, you're cheating. Well, special shout out to, I can't remember his name. You know who you are. Are you here for the accolades or are you here for the knowledge? We share. You guys teach me. Somebody said, hey, you're cheating because you let your guys attack, 10 guys attack the Lion, when clearly over here on the use of miniatures in combat section, there's actually a diagram in here that looks a little something like this. Hey, man, if you're using hexes, then only 6 people can surround a guy, and more than 6 means you're horrible, and you're just a cheater that tries to make everything easy for yourself. Well, okay, so first of all, I do try to make things as easy as possible, okay? I like to be efficient. I don't like to do any unnecessary work, he said while he played one of the most difficult games by the book that there is. It's fine. Just decompress, declench, okay? If you can retcon it, easy, retcon it. If you can't, just move on. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll roll for Scrubland over here. This one right here, this is going to be Scrub, okay? Our guys saw what it was, and I'm going to roll. Well, actually, I'm not going to do that because I only have 6 more days. It is now June the 30th. And really what I'm doing here, I'm going through this kind of quick because this does go quick. You just roll, bing, bang, boom. I'm looking for a scenario. I want to build out something that I can throw a little war game, with miniatures on the table. for next week, okay? And even though next week's episode, and this is the beauty of this, by rolling out another week, I can play ahead a little bit. And so when we go to next week's episode, which will go live on June 30th, I think that's right. Yeah. That Wargame will take place at the end of the week in which the actual battle takes place. I mean, if we get one. So I got to roll on the scrub chart. And wouldn't you know it, kablam, we get more scrubland. Okay, so here's our 5 is scrub. If we rolled a 1, 2, or 3, it would have been more plains, which would have been nice. And we get a scenario right out of the gate. So Monday morning, sounds like somebody's got a case of the Monday. So this is scrub right here. And I'm just going to write the word scrub. I'll erase that. Our scrubland's going to go. I'm going to draw some lines like this. It's going to look a little something like, let's do it like that, okay? Maybe actually we'll come out a little bit further. So it's like a dagger of scrub right into the heart of our hex. Our 50 boys are going to encounter something, and because I'm in the scrub sub hex, I'm going to be rolling a 96. Oh, that can't be good. 96 on the scrub on the uninhabited table is gonna be. I got to go to the top page. See, here we are. How we have wolves in the Wolflands. How great is this? There's a reason it's called the Wolflands, and I don't even have to proxy any miniatures for this battle, do I? Once again, I know what you're thinking. I don't know why you're so surprised to finally get wolves. I know what you're thinking. I don't know why you're so surprised to get wolves. Long time ago, you said you would use these charts for each of the hexes for wherever it's at the plains you'd roll it. There'd be a lot more wolves if you rolled on this. Yeah, same thing. I probably should have been rolling on this as I did when we were doing our 1-to-1 time with just the random adventures. But see this thing here? I forgot. Sue me. You don't like it? Get your own channel. Go on the internet and complain. Maybe somebody out there cares. We do not. We're having too much fun building scenarios in which our 50 boys are going to have to go up against, well, how many wolves? 2 to 20? And these are not pushover wolves. 13 wolves. Okay. These guys have a 2+2 hit dice. My guys only have 1, so it's going to be 50. It's going to be 50 hit dice versus, call it 2.5. Oh, at 13, that's 26 hit dice plus another half again, 30. This could be a much more fair fight than I really enjoy. The encounter distance is 64 rather, with ones counting as 1, so that's 10 yards. This is a 3, right? We divide by 2, drop fractions, but 3s are at -1, they count as 2s. So we're at 30 yards when the encounter opens. We are at 40 yards. 4s count as 3s, so that's 70. And then we have 80, 90, 120 yards. So at 120 yards. Now we have 150 hit dice worth of, we have 50 hit dice worth of people. So it's 50 hit dice for the bros to 26, which means there's no obviously superior force. The wolves have jumped out and we have to roll for surprise. Are the bros surprised on a 1 or a 2? They are not. Are the wolves surprised on a 1 or a 2? They are not, which means we can roll for initiative. The good guys, the white hats, the bros, are rolling the white die. The wolves get the initiative, and we have to figure out what they're going to do. And to do that, we're going to make an encounter reaction. Let's see what happens with these wolves. A 77 means they're uncertain, but prone towards positive. 55%. On a 20, I should have said 55%. If it's less than 55, it's positive. All right, 66. So they are hostile, and we're going to ride at them. They get to go first. We start whooping and hollering and running at them, so we have to ask, how fast do they move? 180 yards. They're going to be able to get all right on top of us. We have to think about what kind of strategy is being employed here. I have 5 blocks of troops. I've got Lightfoot screening on the front, and they're going to get bushwhacked. Well, at 100 yards, right? Or do we have a line of horsemen? So let's build the core around our core. I've got 20 heavy foot. Okay? And I've got 10 archers back here ready to step up And then I've got, and so we'll put the wolves down here, okay? And then I've got the horsemen riding around. And maybe the horsemen get attacked. So what I'm going to do is roll a d12, and that's what clock face they're going to be at when the wolves show up. So with a result of a 1, they're going to be up here. Here's where my horsemen are. Probably a good like 60 yards out, okay? So they're not going to be able to help our Lightfoot. As the wolves come swarming in, the wolves are going to have to decide, and I'm going to just go randomly. Now, they will either charge, and the Lightfoot don't have their spears set, so this could be devastating for them. As we're passing through the broken lands, there's lots of little gullies and patches. The wolves are going to try to grab some Lightfoot and drag them away. Now, they can move 180. As we said, it's 120. So they got time to move up. If they charge, then, the Lightfoot get to attack first. If they just move to combat, then they move into base-to-base contact, and then the heavy foot can jump on top of them. And remember, by the way, by going back to me being accused of cheating, spears can attack in 2 ranks. So that means if 5 guys can surround a lion and attack with a spear, 5 guys can stand behind him. You do get 10 attacks. Yeah, I know what I'm doing here. Accidentally, sure, I know what I'm doing accidentally, but I know what I'm doing. For this one, I'm going to let the dice decide. On a 1, 2, or 3, the wolves will charge into combat. They do, which means our Lightfoot are going to get the first attack of the combat. 10 attacks on... I haven't even established hit points yet. Let's just go ahead because I have the hot dice in my hot little hands. 20 Magic the Gathering spin down dice. It's fine. Hitting on 14s, we're going to call that, what is this one? Is it 13 or 14? I tell you what, I'm going to re-roll it, and on odds, it's a miss. I got an even, that's a hit. So we're going to call that a 14, that's a hit. 17, whatever, doesn't matter. So how many hits did we get? We got 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. All right, now I guess we really do need to determine hit points, and I'm going to roll 1 time for all of the bros. They've got 5 hit points. So 5 hit points across the board. And for the wolves, they each have 6, 7, 8, plus 2, 10 hit points for the wolves. We'll write that down here. And the reason that's going to matter is that with the 4 hits, the bros, the Lightfoot, they are attacking with short swords. Hey, one other thing. I'm reading the description of wolf here. There's a 75% chance, I'd call that a yes, that they are hungry and immediately attack. So these wolves are hoping if any guy that they can kill, they may be able to drag off. But they're not going to be able to do that given that 4 of them have now taken damage. And I get a whole bunch of 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. To kind of keep track of that, and look, we actually scored a 1, 2, 3, and a 4. We got ourselves a minor flush. Look at that. That's kind of nice. So this is what I did for the first attack, to keep track of those. And then Lightfoot, I may keep track of those over here, but it might not matter because any of these wolves that hit... Now, we get 13 attacks on these archers. And because we're dealing with... The archers don't have shields. So they don't have the best armor. With just the leather armor and the short sword, if memory serves, leather armor only, that's an 8. With an 8 AC, a 2+2 hit die creature is going to be hitting on 8s. And they get 13 attacks. So we grab our little bones and we roll for the first 10. Looking for 8s or better. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I still have 3 more to roll. So 6. And we get 7, 8. So a total of 8 hits. And I'm assuming that they're all just going to hit individual guys. The wolves have a bite which does 2 to 5 hit points per hit. So what did I say? 8 of them? So I got to roll 8 times. And any 4s that I roll, so that's 1 dead. And so that's 1. No. No. Wow, a lot of 1s in there. So 2 dead and 6 wounded. So I'm going to say this is now 8 Lightfoot. We got 2 dead. So here's deaths. I got to keep track of these. So our buddies, our guys. So remember on the charge. Oh, they're also at +2. Oh, you know what? I think they got 2 more hits in there. I'm just going to roll for 2 more hits because with the charge you get a +2 damage. So there's another dead and then there is a 3, 4. So that is going to be a total of, I believe it is 4 dead Lightfoot, which makes this a 6. And then the other 4 are wounded. Okay. So I guess what we'll do is we'll say there's 6 Lightfoot, and we'll say, so 4 dead, and there's 4 wounded out of that 6. Okay. So I wrote down 4 wounded. Now the Lightfoot have already attacked, so they don't get to do anything, but now the Heavy Foot are within marching distance. They can walk up and support the bros. So what's going to happen here is they're going to move in, they're going to make their attacks, and then these 6 Lightfoot, the 4 injured and the 2 that are unhurt, are going to peel off. So we're going to get 10 attacks with the Heavy Foot. And that's all we're going to be able to do for this round. The Lightfoot are going to move behind the archers. We got to keep those guys alive, and we're probably going to go back to the castle and rest, recoup, and rearm. But in the meantime, I've got 10 Heavy Foot that are attacking right now. And with that, once again, they're attacking a creature with an AC of 7. They are 0 level men-at-arms. They are hitting on 14s. So once again, we get 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. And now I need to roll, and I'm going to roll a D12. I know there's 13 of them. The other thing we can do is, so I get 4 hits. The other thing we can do is we could just roll to see which number wolf we hit. Because remember, it's going to be random, right? And anything less than a 13, we'll just re-roll until we get something less than a 13. So there's 5, 6. There we go. 5, 6, 10, and 12. Now, the guys with the spears, they ran up and stabbed, so I don't think they do a whole lot of damage. We're not getting the double bonus. It would have been nice if we had time to get the spears up front, but we didn't. Would have been nice. What are you going to do? They do D6 points of damage to 5, 6, 12, and 10. And now it's important because we have the running tally of wounds down here. So 5, 6, 12, and 10. And it doesn't really matter at this point. We didn't damage any of these guys. So what I'm going to do for this round is just roll for the dice and just kind of go high to low. I get a 4, 3, 2, and a 2. So that makes this a 6. That makes this a 7, an 8, and an 8. And this is where it really starts to matter whether you're hitting randomly or not. Okay? That will be it for the turn, unless we want to bring our horsemen in, and our horsemen are going to ride around and set up, not for this turn, but for next turn, they're going to wind up charging into battle. We've got our spears in place. The Lightfoot have moved back. The spears have moved up, and we're going to be able to attack 20 times with the spearmen as our horsemen ride through and make their attack. So next turn, things are going to go really well. If, this is a big if, our boys can maintain their nerve. We have to check morale for both the wolves and for us. Now, the wolves don't have to check morale, okay, because they haven't suffered any casualties. The alpha male of the wolf pack, he's still there. He's fighting. He's great. In fact, maybe what we do is we give this guy an extra 2 hit points, okay? He's the alpha. So if we can roll enough 13s that we take him out, we'll be in good shape. For us, we have a 50-50 chance that our boys will stick around. The problem that we have is that we have lost 4 guys, okay? We're not faced by an obviously superior force. We haven't lost 25%. We're all good there. This is where it really starts to hurt. For each enemy slain, we're at -10. Is that right? Taking casualties without receiving any, we're at +10. Wait a minute. Outnumbered and outclassed by. The better way to look at this, cast percentile dice. Adjust the score for penalties and bonuses. All right, so we get a 7. We're up to 47 because 4 of our boys have died. And then because we haven't, all we've done is take casualties. That means we're at 57. That means we fail by 7. We fall back fighting. Well, that's exactly what we were doing, right? Okay, fall back fighting. So the archers fall back. The spearmen fall back. And we're ready to go for round number 2. Pretty sure that's what that means. Because you check at the end, on this next round, we have to fall back. Yeah, well, the Lightfoot, they're the ones that lost the 4, so maybe they do. This is kind of Byzantine, isn't it? You really gotta noodle your way through this. It's not a game for everybody. Rolling for initiative, This time we get the initiative. So our archers are going to fall back. The heavy foot are going to stay there, and the horse are still kind of hovering around. We fall back. Now we didn't flee, so we're fine. The heavy foot are ready to go, and the wolves now are I guess they have the option. Let's see what it says here. It says the thing that really gets busted here is that it doesn't really say what happens in a fallback situation. It says what happens when you flee. You turn around, you get free attacks. But if you fall back fighting, if these heavy foot had moved up and now they fall back fighting, then I think there's separation and the wolves can decide whether they stay in contact or not. In this case, the wolves will stay in contact, of course. This right here is the section of rules that I'm talking about, and you have to read it very carefully. People read this and go, oh, I know what that means, and they move right on. Gotta parse the sentences. At such time as a creature decides it can break off the engagement and flee the melee. Well, wait a minute. Did the creature decide that, or did the dice? To do so allows the opponent a free attack routine. This attack is calculated as if it were a rear attack upon a stunned opponent. When completed, the retiring party may move away at full movement, and unless the opponent pursues and is able to move at a higher rate of speed, the melee is ended, and the situation becomes one of counter avoidance. Now, this is if you're breaking off the whole thing. There's a lot of interesting scholarship that I really need to catch up on. I really need to read up on Hellmarch to see if it is a little bit better at integrating the individual, I can decide what to do style of gaming with this. As is, I'm going to rule that because we made that really low roll, we're going to let the foot break off, the heavy foot withdraw, and the wolves stay in contact. All right, which means we've foregone our attacks for this round, and we're going to have to eat another 13 attacks. This time, however, the 13 attacks are on the heavy foot who are engaged in melee. And the heavy foot are going to be a little bit tougher because the heavy foot are wearing chain armor and shields, giving them an armor class of 4. The wolves now are going to need 14s to hit. And we're going to score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. So there we go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. And we're still not done. We have 3 more. So 5 plus nothing. So 5 hits altogether. And any 4s, once again, will kill one of my heavy boys. So there's 1, 1 and a 3. And what did I say? That was it. So 1 heavy foot. And I've got 3 wounded. And that's going to be the end of the turn. Easy peasy. That's all we got to do. So we check. Now do we check for morale again? I don't think we do. We only received 1 more. Man. You know, the funny thing is, the more guys you take, I'm not sure morale works in this context. We haven't lost 25% of our guys. Each enemy slain? I mean, man, as soon as I lose... Oh, the thing is I have to kill some wolves in order to negate that, right? Oh, boy. This is brutal. I think my guys are going to run away from these wolves. I'm a little disappointed. Oh, yeah, no, because there's no way. With 50%, I don't have any way of attacking these guys. Does this seem a little weird to you guys? Does this seem a little wonky that I got this many guys? Maybe the Lightfoot, maybe I should be rolling per unit, right? Maybe the Lightfoot retreated and I should have given my Heavyfoot the ability to continue the attack. Maybe that would have been the way to do it. Because, or the other thing is you roll for each individual guy. But man, if losing half of my Lightfoot and I haven't done a single casualty in return to my enemy means that these 40 guys run off, that doesn't work for me, man. That just doesn't work. So in this case, I am going to roll for morale for my Heavyfoot. And I'm going to get a 56. So the Heavyfoot are going to withdraw again. But I'm going to roll also for the horse. And I get a perfect 100. Does that mean the horsemen ride away? What about the archers? They get a 9, so they're okay? Because they haven't taken any? Or do we just treat this like 25% for each of these individual units? Let me know what you think down below. I'm going to have the Heavyfoot, they're going to withdraw on the next turn. but I'm going to let my knights charge in. My medium horse haven't been doing a whole lot. So we'll roll for initiative, and we're going to get the initiative again. And this time around, like I said, the heavy foot are going to withdraw. The archers are moving off to a safe distance. And I'm going to get 10 attacks with my horse. Now the horse are going to charge in. Now we're just gonna do a little ride-by attack. We're going to launch 10 spears. And once again, because these guys are 0 level boys, attacking armor class, we're looking for 14s. We're going to have a total of 1, 2, 3 hits on the wolves as they throw their spears. I think I got that right. It might be, did I bump that one? 1, 2, 3. I think I got 4 hits altogether. So with 4 hits, I'll roll the dice, and it's going to be, ooh, that could be good. Oh, we're still not going to take any out, I don't think, though. So I've got to roll for 13s. I got to roll to see where those hits are, and we'll just line it up like that. So 13, 11, 13, and then I need to roll one more. We get a couple, and then a 12. That's where we hit the wolves. So that was a 12. And oh, by the way, this is why you spin down dice. So if I need to add or subtract 1, I can just flip it. Remember, we're at +1 because these guys are attacking from behind. Then I can either add 2, or I can just very easily go, oh, this is 12, it's 14. If you don't have spin down dice, it's a lot harder to do that. When you're juggling this many numbers, go with the spin down dice. The added like negative to the odds, or like the way it tilts the odds a little bit in one favor or the other, it really doesn't factor in at this scale. It easily outweighs the benefit of using these guys to just adjust the dice on the fly. Easily outweighs that. Now, notice here, I got a couple of 13s. So that means instead of 12 hit points, I did a 6 and a 1. That means the leader is going to be reduced to just 5 hit points. I really want to roll those 13s. Now, number 11 is this guy. He is going to take 6, so he's down to 4. And then the 12 here is going to reduce this guy to just 5. So the wolves are taking a beating here. They're not doing great, but they now get to attack 13 times. Once again, they're attacking our heavy foot. That the heavy foot withdrew, and the wolves move back into contact. So the wolves are yapping at them and plaguing them, nipping at their heels. And the wolves, because we're hitting armor class of 4, they're going to be hitting on 12s again. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more hits. Rolling 3 more dice. So 4 hits, and that's going to be it. 4 hits all together. And they are going to do 1, 2, 3. Another one dies, and 4. So I've got 6 wounded, and I've only got 18 of the heavy foot, and that's going to end the turn. Now, my heavy foot do have to roll for morale. We get a 003. Boy, these are brave, stouty lads, aren't they? So adding the 30 for the number of... wait, they're down to 18. So that becomes a 26. They pass. And now on this next round, they are going to be fighting, just going at it. All right, good. We win that round of combat. So we now get 18 spear attacks on these wolves. So I'm going to have to roll all of these once, and we'll count them up. We get a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits on the first 10. So 5 hits. And then we get another, looking for 14s, I think I said. Yeah, 14s. So 4, 5, 6 hits all together. So let me roll 6 of these dice to find out which. And I'm just going to keep rolling until I get all between 1 and 13. We'll call that a 7. And we'll re-roll these 2. And then we get just this last guy. 14. Nope. Come on. Give me a 13. Give me a 13. I get a 12. All right. So how much damage do they do? Well, if we line them up like this, that was a 3. So here we go. I'm going to roll for 7, 3, 12, 5, 6, 10. 7. Take 6 points of damage. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Whoops. Got to show you. Make it honest. There we go. Okay. See if we can get them all in camera. There we go. Man, that looks so good. Okay, so number 7 takes 6 points of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see. 2, 6, 7. There we go. So he is reduced to just 2 hit points. Then for number 3, he's going to take 6 hit points. So he's reduced to 2. Number 12 hasn't taken any. He is going to be reduced to 4. we're rolling lights out on the damage here, aren't we? Number 4 is going to take 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 to be reduced to 7. And then I've got a 6 and a 10 here. So number 6 is going to take 2. And number 10 is going to take 2. So 5. And then 1. So that's 13, 11, 13, 12, 11, 10. He's reduced to 3. So we still haven't killed anybody, but our horses get to attack. They're going to ride by and attack from behind. And the horsemen, again, are hitting on 14s. So we're going to call that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. Ooh, those guys are good. So rolling 7 dice. We don't need these 2 because it's too high. And then we'll re-roll those. And so that one's too high. And it's still too high. Boy, that's a really good die, isn't it? A 9. So 13. I'm just going to pull them out one at a time. I got a 13. And he's going to take 2 points of damage. Almost killed the leader there. He's down to 3 hit points. See him way over here? 3 hit points. All right, so get rid of him. Then I'm going to roll for... Did anybody get hit twice? No. Okay, let's just go. We got 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, and 9. 2, 3, 5, 6. So 2, 3, 5, and 6. 2 is reduced to 2 hit points. 3 is killed. Yay! So that's our bonus. 2, 3, 5 is reduced to 4. 6 is reduced to 1. And then I still have my 8 and 9. 8 and 9. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is reduced to 3 hit points. And 9 takes his first hit to 8. Oh boy. So it's 1. The only unit that needs to check morale is... Oh, we won the initiative. Now my heavy foot, they have to take it. And they're going to get hit. 1, 2... Looking for 12s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 3 more. So 5 hits. 6 hits altogether. 3. So that's 1 wound, 2 wounds, 3 wounds, 4, oh, and a death. So that's 17. We're up to 10 wounded guys. And then we have another death. So 1 death, 1 wound. So we're to 16. We've lost 4 of our heavy footmen. We're up to 11 wounded and then 12 wounded altogether. So with the 12 wounded, now that we're almost up to more wounded than alive. So once these numbers are the same, any additional wounds, in other words, every hit will eliminate a guy. So maybe it takes 1 hit, and that's what we've seen so far. Maybe it takes 2 hits. I'm just distributing the wounds relatively evenly, basically across the board. Checking for morale. For the wolves are going to get an 82, but they have a bonus. All right, fighting the heavy foot. We reduce that by 3. Oh, they actually fall back fighting because they're at a total of +4, -1. So we subtract 30 from that, and at 52, they miss that number. Oh, except you know what? There is an extra +10 there. They're actually going to be okay. No, they no longer get the +10 for not receiving any wounds, for any casualties. They lost 1, so that means they're going to fall back fighting. But what do our heavy foot do? With a 65, that becomes a... Ooh, this could be trouble. They might run off on this one. The heavy foot are going to... Let's just check that chart. 65. Now they are at a -30, so that becomes a 95. That's what I was getting at before. Okay, they haven't lost 25% of their guys yet. 1 more loss and they will. So failing by 35 means they're going to flee in panic, which means the wolves are going to get... Oh, you know what? I rolled 1 too many dice for the wolves. They're going to get 12 attacks at +2. They're going to be hitting on 10s. And we get a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I got to roll 2 more. So 7 hits all together. And we get 1 wound, 2 wounds, 3 wounds, and a death. So 3 wounds and a death. So that's 15 and 15, okay? And what that means is the other 4 are all going to be killed. because everybody's wounded. So we're down to just 11 heavy foot. And that's going to end the turn. So who gets the initiative this time? The wolves do, which means they... Oh, so what does that mean? Well, maybe they start to ride away. Maybe they start to run off. Maybe they grab some of the dead and they drag them away. That could be the thing. Oh, you know what? They didn't get the extra attack because they fell back fighting. I got to take that back. We can ignore those other 17 hits. We are still at 16 live with 11 wounded. There is no attack when they ran off because, actually, I guess maybe there would be because they run off at the end of the turn. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna make it hard on myself. There's 11 heavy foot. We've lost 10 of them, and that's where things stand. Okay, but now when we check for initiative on this next turn, we get a 5. They get a 3. The guys that ran off. This means that my horse can charge into combat. And my horsemen are going to get 10 attacks on these nasty wolves. So 10 attacks by the horsemen. Looking for 14s is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. And I suppose I could have done the same thing here, is just counted these as wounds and whatnot. But because they have the extra +2, I think it's going to be like 3 hits to kill each of these guys. So those 7 hits are going to wind up doing a total of 6, 5, 5, 4. So 6, 5, 5, 4. And then I got 3 more to roll. 5, 6, 2. So 6, 6, 5, 5, 5, 4, 2. That's the damage that we've got here. I'm just going to go down the line. I'm going to roll some D20s to figure out which ones those hits go to, okay? So I got to roll check for the 6. Actually, I can roll a D12 now because there's only 12 guys left, okay? So for the first 6, I get a 12 and we kill the leader. So that's the second dead wolf. All right. Now I'm going to re-roll 12s. Actually, no, I'm going to keep rolling 12s. On a 10, we get 6 points of damage, so we kill a second wolf. Now for the 5, that's going to be a 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That kills a wolf. And then I have another 5, which is going to hit wolf number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That kills him. So that's the 6, 6, 5, 5. I have one more 5. That's going to land on wolf number 2, and that kills him. Bing, bang, boom. And then we have another... I guess I could be rolling... How many wolves do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to roll a d8. For the 4, I get a 3. So that does... This guy's down to 3. He's still alive. And then for another 4, takes him down to 2. And then the 2 hit points is going to land on wolf number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that reduces him to 6. So we've now killed 5 of these wolves who are already falling back. We've killed their leader. So we have to check at a total of plus 15 for the wolves. And I guess with the 5 deaths here and the 5 deaths for the heavy foot, that's going to be a wash. We're just going to check at a plus 15. So an 87, and now our horse are actually stuck in. So now our horse are on a 1-to-1 combat. 87 plus 15 is going to be 103. That means they fail by 50. They're going to surrender, and that's going to be the end of the fight. Look, we've been doing this for 20 minutes, okay? Long involved combat, theater of the mind, swirling. We have now killed them, but at a great cost. We lost. So here's our casualties. And we'll have to calculate what it's going to take to replace it. 9 heavy foot, 4 light foot. So at the cost of 13 guys, we wiped out a full pack of the wolves in the Wolfland. And I probably wouldn't have played this whole thing out here in this episode, except that it's the wolves, man. It's kind of the point. When the dice give you a narratively succinct, perfect thing like that, you just got to roll with it. Man, today's episode went a whole lot longer than I expected, but it's Saturday, and I know you guys, it's summertime, it's June, some of you guys are driving cross country with the family. You got the kids yapping in the back, you got the wife yapping in your right-hand ear, or maybe your left-hand ear if you're an Aussie. Driving across country, a lot of time in the car, you really need something to listen to. You wish you had a friend along with you for the ride. Well, here I am. Maybe you're out there on your riding mower with the big earmuff headphones and the Bluetooth going, and now you had the thrilling adventure of listening to a guy fumble his way through and kind of thinking, man, you know, these guys are so fragile that the 10% penalty for morale checks, it's brutal. I don't know, man. Explain to me down in the comments how this is supposed to work. And maybe it's high time that I just go break down and buy Hell March. I'll try to throw a link in the description. It's really phenomenal. I've kind of glanced through the PDF, but I need a hard copy so I can show you guys. It is a wonderful bridge between Chainmail and original D&D, which was just a supplement for Chainmail. I bet we know that. There's no sense beating around the bush. There's no sense beating that to death. Everybody knows it by now. D&D is a miniature war game. And if you're not using it as an adjunct to Chainmail, the guy said in a video where he did Theater of the Mind and not Chainmail, whoopsie, it's fine. Hey, until next time, guys, I'm praying for you.